The Eagles from McDonough.
Yep.
The Dons from Loyola Blakefield.
That's it. Let's get it to touch the ball. Who gets it? Who gets it?
The Gales of Mount St. Joe.
Go.
The Warriors of Archbishop Spalding. The Cardinals of Calvert Hall.
You know how far Teddy goes underneath. Let's go, Teddy!
And most importantly, the Hounds from Gilman. Take the best swimmers from each of these 6 schools and throw them under one roof for a night of fierce competition, and you'll get some insanely fast racing.
Hands on 3! 1, 2, 3, go! Woo! Go! Come on, Jeffrey! Go!
With exclusive interviews from some of the best swimmers from each of these 6 schools, such as
Caden Bowers,
Patrick Brannon,
Teddy McQuaid,
Brody Schrepfer,
Tim Brooks,
Alex Dillon,
Jackson Heather,
Flex Belmont. There we go. I was flexing.
Max Kumasaki,
and with additional interviews featuring other great swimmers from the Baltimore area, such as Caitlin Hurley, Logan Betke, Katie Patcher, Anna Hazelhurst, and Mabel Koff. Join my friends and I as we take an in-depth look at the 2023 MIAA Swimming Championships. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
On the evening of February 4th, 2023, the stage was set for the MIAA Conference Swimming Championships. Earlier that morning, all of the swimmers from the 6A conference schools had competed for a spot to swim in the finals. Now, with only the best of the best remaining, everybody was looking forward to what would surely be an absolutely electric night of competition.
Should see some school records go today, if all goes well. I'm not swimming tonight, but I'm gonna get in anyway because I'm a possible alternate, so. What's up, Skolnick Rose? I'm vlogging the swim meet. Tim Brooks. Welcome back to the vlog. So guys, what's up, Jackson? This is the vlog. What's up? Hi. I'm Mason. So this is Alex Dillon, Master Sprint Freestyle Specialist. You excited for tonight, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bro, my McDonough's full guys full on swinging over there. Jesus Christ. This is Riley Walters. What's up, Hudson?
After everyone was done saying hi to each other, it was time for warm-up. Warm-up is an essential part of a swim meet and every practice, as your body has to warm up first to reach its best swimming state.
Yep. See some of the McDonough kids in shows. Alright, all you guys, let's go. Yeah. Let's go, boys. Yeah! Hands on 3! 1, 2, 3, house! It's go time.
So during each event, there would be at least 2 heats contested. One heat for JV swimmers and one for varsity swimmers. The biggest difference between JV and varsity is that the top 16 in varsity get to swim again at night, with the bottom 8 of the 16 making the B final. However, for JV, there is only one heat. There was no consolation final. McDonough won the JV relay with ease. For on varsity, however, Loyola had historically dominated the 200 medley relay for years, but recently, the tide began to shift in McDonough's favor. The McDonough team, led by Caden Bowers, was determined to keep it that way. However, taking down McDonough would be no easy task, as two of their swimmers, Caden Bowers and Langston Duncan, won individual titles at the previous MIAA Championships in 2022, with Caden Bowers winning this thriller in the 100 fly against Cameron Chinnick of Loyola.
It's not going to be enough. It is Caden Bowers from McDonough.
And Langston Duncan prevailing in the 50 free against a very stacked field.
It is Langston Duncan, 21-49.
However, despite their massive advantage, tensions were still high behind the blocks. The first of the McDonough quartet to swim would be William Cusimano, who would square off in the backstroke against star swimmer from Loyola, Teddy McQuaid.
I was super nervous too. I get really nervous for swim meets and this, especially like how kind of big this last swim meet was. I just got really nervous, but once I got in the water, kind of all my nerves went away. And yeah, it's also hard being the first leg because you have to set the tone for the whole relay. So yeah.
Despite the mental obstacles, Cusimano was able to give McDonough the lead, beating Teddy McQuaid with a 23.03 compared to Teddy's 23.7. This gave Caden Bowers the lead, as he dove in for the breaststroke.
You know, I think watching Wills and like he had an incredible split. You know, he had a convincing lead, and I knew I was going to get out in front. I just wanted, hold my technique. I didn't want to overspin, but as I touched the wall, I remember looking at the clock, and that was the fastest we've ever been at the 100 in the 2-minute relay. And so I knew it was going to be a great race, and so handing it off to Langston.
Bowers split a sizzling 24.7 on the breaststroke leg, which gave Langston Duncan, who would swim the fly, a massive lead that McDonough would not relinquish.
Yeah, when I saw Caden getting the lead, it like kind of calmed me down, because when we're behind, I get really nervous and it's kind of hard to have a good swim. And I'll start to slip and just think about winning. But in that time, when we had the lead, thanks to Will and Caden, I kind of was like more relaxed, and that helped me have the best split that I had all season.
By the time McDonough's Connor Cashman dived into the water, the race was already won. McDonough had successfully defended their title in this event. It was a dream start to the meet for McDonough, and this victory would set the tone for what would become an extremely dominant performance by the school throughout the meet.
And I remember after watching him finish, I like, the whole, like, we ate that thing. Actually, I can't say that.
We ate that. He'll bleep it out.
Yeah.
We munches.
Yeah.
We munched it up, and I remember screaming. And I think that really set the tone for the meet. My adrenaline was up, and I had some pretty good races.
The next event to be contested was the 200 freestyle. The 200 free is often considered to be the intersection between sprinters, who specialize in distances of 150, and distance swimmers, who mainly specialize in distances of 400 and greater. In other words, this event is kind of a sprint, but also kind of a distance event at the same time. As a result, there are many different ways to race this event, and races often come down to a thrilling ending, and that was definitely the case here. McDonough's James Liu prevailed in the JV final, winning with a time of 1:54.08. In the varsity consolation final, Gilman's Yaroslav Mitsak won with a 1:47.56, which is a new personal best time for him. But now, it was time for the main race. However, not everything was going to plan for one of the top 200 freestylers.
I had tendonitis on the top of my foot for all of January, and it really affected the way I was swimming and the way I was practicing, and it really took like a mental toll on me, because it was hard when I saw everyone practicing and knowing I have all these big meets, but not being able to do what I want in the pool and not being able to really go what I want to in practice to set myself up in the best place.
To make matters worse for Patrick, he would have to face off against a cluster of powerful rivals, such as fellow classmates and clubmates John Coble and Harry Belbot from Loyola, and all-around McDonough sprint freestyle superstar Drew Green. Now this is where the fun begins. When you take the distance background of John Coble, Patrick Brannon, and Harry Belbot, and combine them with the sprint-oriented background of Drew Green, you usually end up with exciting races. This race certainly lived up to the hype, as the difference in strategy and background saw the lead change quite a few times. To highlight how different 200 free strategy can be, I asked my friends Caitlin Hurley and Mabel Koff to talk about their own individual strategies for this event. Now, me being the supreme idiot that I am, I just realized that I managed to lose the first part of the video, where Caitlin was talking about her strategy. Instead, I'll have to recant her strategy from memory and read it here. Because Caitlin has a strong background in distance swimming, she can use her stamina to her advantage. She usually takes out the first 100 of the 200 at an easier pace, but then turns it on in the final 100, usually catching up to the sprinters who take out the 200 faster by the end of the race. And at the final 50, in her own words,
and in that 50, I give it everything I got, and so that's my strategy. I approach the 2 free in 4 different parts. I break it up by 50, and it depends long course versus short course, but it's usually the same strategy for me for both. I like to go out the first 50 easy speed, second 50 I work on my kick, and then third 50 is the one that I really try and go fast on, and then last 50 obviously you bring it home.
Bringing it home. Those would be the words that would ultimately determine the outcome of this absolute thriller.
This is absolutely stacked.
As expected, Patrick and Drew got out to the lead early. However, initially, Drew had the advantage. Because of Patrick's bad foot, Drew was able to gain more distance underwater and was able to come up in front consistently.
I knew my start and my underwaters would be lacking due to my foot not being where it should be and being injured. And I really tried to work my back half, and I knew fly kicks were not really going to happen, or if they did, they were not going to be as good as I wanted to. So I really tried to work the free kicks and use my arms as much as possible.
Initially, Patrick was leading at the 50, but by the 100, Drew Green had taken the lead back. Another challenger, who happened to be swimming in between the two men, Harry Bellbot, was careful to not let them get too far away.
So going into finals, I knew that I was right in between 2 really talented and gifted swimmers, being Drew Green from McDonough and then Patrick Brannon from Loyola. I knew that they would both be out really fast, and that my whole goal was to just stay with them, because I knew that I was going to have a pretty good last 50, last 100.
Turning into a race between Drew and Patrick.
However, as the race progressed, Patrick saw that Drew had gotten ahead of him, and used his distance background to quickly draw level with him.
Drew Green was ahead of me in the 100, and I really knew that the best chance, the most critical scenario would be that 25, from the last 100 to the last 75. And I got right with him on the 75 and the 50.
Additionally, Harry saw that both Patrick and Drew were making moves of their own, and decided to make his own move to keep himself in contention.
That third 50 is where I really started to turn it on. I started to increase my kick. I switched my breathing pattern a little bit. Instead of every other, I tried to mix in some every 4 in there to try and get a little bit more speed. And yeah, so I did that for the third 50. I caught back up a little bit. And then on the fourth 50, it's just everything you got at that point.
And now, with the big 3 firmly established in the lead, it was time for the grand finale. fact that Patrick was still able to come out on top, despite his foot problems and against such a stacked field, was definitely a bright omen for the future. And a bright sign it was. So far, Patrick's had an incredible long course season, scoring more junior national cuts than anybody else on his club team. Additionally, Harry also set a massive personal best of 1 minute and 41 seconds. Going into this swim season, his personal best was a 1:46.
200 AM, we got Jeffrey.
Next up was the 200 IM, which in my totally unbiased opinion is the best 200-yard event there is. In the 200 IM, every swimmer swims a 50 of each stroke. They start with a 50 of butterfly, then go to a 50 of backstroke, then a 50 of breaststroke, before finishing the race with a 50 of freestyle.
Jeffrey's catching up!
IM is often considered to be one of the most useful races in swimming, as in order to swim a good IM, you have to be good at every single stroke.
Every single lap that you do at practice helps your IM, because IM involves every stroke. So, you know, when you're a breaststroker, obviously working on everything helps. Being a well-rounded swimmer helps no matter what stroke you do. But for IM, it's specifically important because everything that you're swimming is actively what you're swimming in the IM.
The JV race came down to a thrilling finish, as McDonough's Cooper Chasm battled Gilman's Jeffrey Hu.
Go! Who got? Yeah! Let's go, Jeffrey! Let's go! Miles winning the consolation heat.
Gilman continued their hot streak, with freshman Miles Koff winning the consolation varsity final from lane 7.
Come on, Miles. Who has it? Oh! Let's go! Let's go, Miles!
Now that Gilman had gone 2 out of 3 in the 200 IM, let's meet the person who many believed could make it 3 for 3.
My name is Max Kunisaki.
It was none other than the man, the myth, and the legend himself, Max Kunisaki. The man with a great smile, the man with great genetics, and the man with real dance moves.
My goal was to win the event. I was seeded first going into finals. I got to the pool early. I was stretching. I did a long warm-up. I warmed up all 4 strokes. I was massaging my muscles with my massage gun. I was listening to my favorite music, Eneli Chapa.
But standing in Max's way were 2 other fierce competitors, Jonah Stein of MSJ and Max Mislow of McDonough. And finally, it was time to race.
Let's go, Max. Let's go!
Max had immediately made up his mind. He wanted to lead this race from the very start and wanted to lead the pack and go for it.
I got off to a good start for my race. My fly, which is my worst stroke, was really good. I was winning after the first 50. And then during the backstroke, I think I still might have been leading, but I started to fall apart and Max Milzo started catching me.
Who's the kid?
At the start of the breaststroke, however, other challengers were beginning to catch up to Max and his lead was shrinking quickly. At the start of the breaststroke leg, however, it was clear that Max was beginning to run out of steam, allowing other challengers, such as Jonah Stein to his left, and Kyle Bitts to his right, who were both breaststroke specialists, to catch up to him. Max Mislow, who's in the lane to the left of Jonah Stein, was not visible in this picture, had taken over the lead.
And during the breaststroke, I really just died. I had a terrible breaststroke leg.
At the end of the breaststroke leg, it was clear that Max's lead was shrinking. allowing other challengers such as Jonah Stein and Max Mislow to catch up to him. This set up for a final, thrilling 50 yards of the race, whose clutch would rise to the occasion and take the title home for their school. Despite Max's heroic and valiant efforts, at the end, he fell short, with Max Mislow having overcome him during the final 50 yards. In addition, Jonah Stein from Mount St. Joe has superb back half of the race, using his breaststroke skills to catch up to Max and then pass him, barely, at the end of the race. It was a new massive personal best for him, and it was also a new personal best for Max as well, even though he wasn't too happy with the results. Although we may not have gotten the outcome that we wanted as Gilman, we still have to congratulate all three gentlemen for first, all going personal best times, and second, coming and racing each other and putting on quite a show to result in one of the most exciting races of the night.
Now a word from our sponsors.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for watching, everyone.
Oh, it's going. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.